Good evening to all our partners who are watching right now. Thank you very much for attending our Zoom call this evening, of course, in the Philippines. And before we formally start, just like to welcome all of you who are watching right now. Just like to have a shout out to all our partners from Dubai, from Nigeria, from Cyprus, from Qatar, from Singapore, from Macau, Hong Kong, Singapore, and of course, Sante, Philippines. Just like to say hi to all of you who's watching right now. Kamusta na kayong lahat? Okay? We're currently on our this is already our second month, ano? Second month on a an ECQ here in the Philippines, and we're hoping that this will be over soon, the ECQ. Okay, so again, this will be a very exciting evening to all of us. This will be a night that will be full of learnings. Another exciting evening, of course, with a special guest. Okay, but later on, of course, we'll be introducing our special guest, and later on I'll ask our network development head to introduce formally our guest. And siguro shout out lang ako sa mga leaders natin who are right now. Of course, we have our Sante Elites, Artis Calineto, who else? Ederlin Panopio, who are the leaders who are here right now? Okay, dami nyo na no? Okay, by the way, if you're watching now, please feel free to share our link. And we're also live via the Santi Engage Facebook page. So we're so happy to see you all this evening. And siguro without further delay, let me transfer the microphone, okay, to the head of our network development, Mr. Paul Kaluwag. Also later on to formally introduce to you our guest speaker for this evening. Paul.
Yeah, hi Joey. Good evening. No? Good evening everybody. Isang smile naman dyan, no? Kahit di natin nakikita yung mga iba. Yes, all right. Flash your most beautiful smile, no? So we can welcome the evening. Talagang napaka-warm, no? And I know all of you are excited because I am. Joey is excited, no? Napakagaling ng speaker for tonight, no? And it's my honor and pleasure to introduce the speaker, our guest speaker, no? So, okay, wait. Ito na. Isahan ko na. Our special guest for tonight has done over 2,000 talks in over a decade of public speaking experience. He's the best-selling author of the book Unique, Understanding Others by Understanding You, and Unique Youth. Our speaker educates and entertains. He has conducted talks for various people from all walks of life, including company events, business conferences, corporate training, sales rallies, schools, and nonprofit organizations. From speaking to less than 10 people for training workshops to keynoting for thousands of attendees, our special guest's primary aim is for positive life change. His engaging and always relevant workshops span a wide variety of subjects, ranging from personality development to finance, from leadership to sales. His presentations are an eclectic of the best, from his experiences as an entrepreneur, extensive research, and study on the subject presented. Guys, Sante family, let's all welcome our special guest for tonight, Mr. Jayson Law. Jayson, good evening.
Hello, good evening, Paul.
Good evening,
Mr. Paul, Mr. Joey. How is everyone? It's nice to see everyone again.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. Yeah, we're so excited.
And
to
I
hear from
noticed
you.
your quarantined hairdos.
Alam ko, I haven't cut my hair yet, but I'm giving myself a few more days. By next week, kailangan na talaga.
Yeah,
we need to do something already. Okay?
Yes, I'm gathering courage. I'm gathering courage to cut my hair.
My wife gave me a haircut. It was her first haircut a few weeks ago. Maganda siya sa harap. Pero wag mo lang kaming papatalikurin. Ibang dating.
Na-inspire ako dyan, Jayson. Ano? Mukhang gagahin na rin kita. Thank you. Thank you for the inspiration.
Hey, everyone. It's a joy again. I was checking my notes from the times I spoke with you. Nag-speak pala ako sa inyo, yung Sante for the first time was 2015. And then I was back ng 2018 and 2019. And so many things happened. And important kayo, no, kung paano tayo mag-turning point, how we actually not just thrive, but how can we become better in this season? And for myself, we were actually on self-quarantine even before the lockdown happened. We found out na yung aming loved one, my uh, our loved one was positive for COVID. So a week before the lockdown. And since we visited sa hospital, kasi 2 days pa bago sinabi na yun nga, it's possible na COVID, hindi nila nakikita daw na possible nung first 2 days. And we were exposed. So the first thing that came into my mind, ang unang-unang pumasok, what am I going to tell all of my clients? Kasi mahirap maghanap ng speaker, mga 1 day, 2 days na lang to go. And nagkataon that week, yung schedule was almost every day. But it actually brings out the best in us or the worst in us. And to be honest with you, initially it brought out the worst in me. Hindi pa umabot ang 20 yung mga na-affected. Unang-unang pumasok sa isip ko, bakit naman out of 100 plus Filipinos, yung loved one pa namin yung naapektuhan, na ging positive. Tapos, second, yan na, pumasok na yung mga ibang thoughts. What am I gonna say? What are we gonna do? So we're gonna self-quarantine. We won't see our children for 2 weeks kasi 14 days daw. Importante kasi yung awareness natin eh. And dumaan ako sa stages of grief, if you're familiar with that. Yung denial, anger, tapos yung pinakahuli is acceptance. And I went through that for 2 to 3 hours. 2 to 3 hours. That's what awareness does. And after that, inisip ko, sabi ko, what am I thinking? What am I doing? I should be focusing all of my energy towards my wife, towards our loved one, and to change my perspective. And I called my clients. Buti na lang, di ko na tinawagan lahat kasi after a week, nagkaroon na ng lockdown. And it was interesting because that was also the first time a company, I was supposed to speak in Davao when that happened. They invited me to speak pa din, pero naka-telecon na kami. So they were there in the venue and I was speaking there live from my home. And little did I know that that's going to be the new normal today. The new normal, but you are also in the right industry because you are in the MLM industry. And as we know, in the MLM, network marketing, we are able to pivot because our business is all about people and we can use the power of technology. So we expected 2020 to be the best year ever for many. And at the start of the year, it was becoming one of my best years ever. So paano ba tayo tatalon from 2019 to 2020? In fact, when I started this year, again, through God's grace, this was what my schedule was. So this was a talk I did for an insurance company, more than 2,000 people. And I did 5 sessions with them noong January and February. This one is for a bank, for their conference, their managers. This is for an automobile company. This is for another insurance company and an event called NBU. This is for a network marketing company. And this is for soldiers, for policemen. I taught them finance 101 and business 101. And then this is for a real estate company. Some of you may have experienced this also. Through God's grace, I had like 40 plus speaking engagements from Jan to first week of March. And just like that, ayan na, dumating na si Thanos. Okay? Nawala lahat. So all of the live events are canceled. I am expecting the best, but I am preparing for the worst. Because this is the time when we have to reconnect with our why. Why are you doing what you are doing? And some of us would tend to blame so many things. Some of us, we blame our president. Okay? By the way, I have nothing against our president. And if you're from ABS-CBN, I can't blame you for blaming him. But we should not give blame to anyone. In fact, first world countries right now are having so much difficulty with this pandemic, much more a third world country like us. We have to start moving, and we have to start moving forward. As I've mentioned, our why today is really powerful. But you will be depressed, you will be frustrated if your why is about yourself. Because a powerful why is never about you. A powerful why is always about others. It's always about the people you are leading, the people around you, your family. That's the difference between Filipinos and Americans. American dream is, I want to have a big house, I want to have that car, I want to have all these things. Pero ang katotohanan ng Filipino dream is we want to provide for our family, right? But if you can do both, that's good. And this is the most important of all that I want to share with you. And this is going to change your life. This is so powerful that it will change your life if you understand it, if you inculcate it. Are you ready? 99% of your results, 99% of your performance, 99% of your success, they are all driven by meaning. 99% of your success and results is driven by meaning. That's really powerful. What is your meaning right now? How can you acclimate yourself with the given situation and be able to change your meaning? I teach this in my workshops on how we can do that at a deeper level, but changing our meaning changes everything. There's the old way and the new way, as you know. And this was one of my last talks in Iloilo. That's gonna be a new thing right now. Selfie with a mask. Meron namang mga hindi coronavirus din pero iba yung pagkakamatay daw. No? Another man dead due to coronavirus. When he went home, he wore the wrong mask. Okay? Kaya yung asawang pumatay sa kanya. So, importante ngayon yung vision natin. You've been talking about vision. I was talking to si Joey, no? Mr. Joey Marcelo. Sabi ko, what's your email? Vision pa din. Vision Joey. Powerful ang vision, di ba? And I shared this with you before that dreams do not come true. It's our visions that do. Dreams do not come true. It's our visions that do. Our 2020 eyesight. If you go to an optical shop or a clinic, they have a Snellen chart. And that Snellen chart, you will use that eyeglass and move 20 feet away from the chart so that you can measure and check yung vision mo kung gaano siya kaklaro. So at 20 feet, 20/20, yan, ibig sabihin, you have normal eyesight. Pag 20/70, ibig sabihin, or gawin na lang natin 20/40. Ibig sabihin, yung eyesight mo, half lang ng isang normal na tao. Pag 20/200, it's 10 times less. Pag 20/400, you are legally blind. Some people, right now, nandun sila sa 20/200. This is my second talk today. My first talk was this morning. It was for the #1 insurance branch sa lahat ng mga companies. Kumbaga itong group na to, yung branch pa lang nila, yung branch pa lang nila, katumbas na ng sales ng mga ibang insurance companies. And before I spoke, they invited someone from the same company to share best practices. I love the humility of that group. And it's interesting that even though they are the best of the best, today is the best time for us to build alliances. I call that co-opetition. You are cooperating with your competition and remove that word, change the meaning of competition and turn it into collaboration. Pero, kausap ko sila kanina, grabe. There's a guy, he said, he closed around 10 for a month. 10 close sales, ha? So, a group of financial advisors kausap ko, iba sa kanila, hindi na alam ko na yung gagawin. Nade-depressed na, they don't have any clue, no sales. While this group, they are continuously grinding and they are so excited because they know that this is going to pass and they can use the tools to make them better. So, in 2020, pero meron din yung 40-20. Ano naman yung 40-20? 40-20, ibig sabihin, yung vision mo mas malinaw pa. Twice ang linaw niya dun sa mga tao na normal ang vision. Okay? In other words, abnormal yung vision mo. Kasi yung mga nakikita mo, hindi nakikita ng mga ibang tao. As you know our story, si Mr. Joey Marcelo, he saw me when I started in speaking. So we've been together for a long time. We've been business partners. And I saw how hard they worked to make this company, to build this company from where it was before to where it is now. And no one saw that before, but only a few. And he was one of them. Hindi pa nakikita ng lahat, nakita niya na. 'Di ba? Kaya yung vision minsan hindi nakikita ng mga tao eh. Yung mga tao na alam naman natin yan, loved ones natin, people na we expect who will get from us, who will join us, are those people who don't? Are those people na loved ones natin, family, kaibigan, sila pa yung mga hindi kukuha sa atin. Sila pa hindi maniniwala sa atin. Kung kayo yan, if that's you, I want you to put in the chat right now. And if you can write there, if that's you, say me. Para makita natin kung gaano kadami. And my mom herself told me, Jayson, ano ba yung racket na ginagawa mo? When we were starting, walang mangyari sa iyo dyan sa racket na yan. Ayun yung nakita na yung mga cheque ko, nakiracket na din. Nakita niya na totoo eh. Nakita niya na it's not something na focus, but it's something that is a legitimate business. And that is what you have right now. In Psalms, it says, when there is no vision, the people perish. When there is no vision, the people perish. Okay? This is one of my books, and I told this story before. Book I wrote, the title is Determined. Miss Connie Reyes is one of the people who encouraged me to write the book in one prayer meeting. And when we lost everything, my meaning that time was destructive. I was depressed. I was frustrated. And I went through that not just for a few months, but a couple of years, maybe 2 years. Kaya yung nangyari tong pandemic, hindi na ako masyadong naapektuhan. Kasi nangyari na sa amin before eh. Noong 2008, when we lost everything, we were worse that time than we are now. So wala masyadong effect sa akin. Iniisip ko lang ngayon na apektuhan lang ako dahil sa mga kaibigan, family, the church, na hirap, nagkaka-problems ngayon, and we want to help them as much as we can. We have a relationship with money, and some of us, galing na mga Pinoy, no? Iba sa atin, ganyan ang relationship natin. Yan ang tingin natin sa pera. Okay? Yan. Alam mo, Pinoy lang makakaisip na to. Pinoy lang talaga. Ang galing, no? May mas matindi pa dyan. Ayun, no? Alam nyo, kaya love ko yung company nyo. I've spoken also to other networking companies, and the difference about you is that iba yung atake nyo. You don't really show the fancy cars, although that's a good testimony. You don't really show the fancy house. Nandun kayo dun sa core eh. Ano ba yung kailangan natin para maging contented tayo sa buhay natin? Kasi marami din ako mga nakikita na ang gaganda ng mga kotse pero wala nang panggas. This is not the time to pretend to be rich. This is the time to act like to act as you are. Yung broke, yung nawala na lahat, bankrupt kami noon. Hirap. May kaibigan ako who lost more than me. Coffee kami. Sabi niya, Jayson, pag ikaw nawalan ka ng pera, wag ka magmumukhang kawawa. Kasi lalayuan ka ng mga tao. Tsaka kawawa ka na nga eh. Magmumukha ka pang kawawa. Ang tawag na sa'yo, chihuahua. So ever since that time, I never considered myself poor. Never. I only considered myself broke. Because poor is permanent. It is a state of being. But broke is only temporary. One day, matatapos din yan. Okay? Yun din yung maganda, kaya kami nakapag-prepare. Wala akong mga utang na malalaki. Actually, wala akong utang at all. Okay? And hindi kami, yung pag natuto ka na, alam mo na yung mga priorities mo sa buhay. So yung priority ko now is to live my life to the fullest without actually trying to please others. But who am I pleasing? Just my family and God. Because many people who act rich are not really rich. Maraming mga ganon. Ang hindi mo alam, baon pala sa bad debt. This was our business before, as you know. I shared this with you. Yung Little Poon. Partner ko si Richard Poon. We're still very good friends. Yan. And then pinakita ko sa inyo yung picture ko before. Sabi ko, mukha akong kawawa. Yan yung itsura ko, yung kausap ko yung friend ko. Hindi lang ako mukhang kawawa, mukha pa akong, I was 30, 40 pounds overweight. I look entirely different. But as you know, nagbago na yung aking profile. Dun sa mga nag-aantay kay Sir Chief, yan, nakapag-pivot na rin tayo. Iba na rin ngayon. No? The word pivot, you move from one direction to the next. Okay, buti na lang walang minsan may advantage ng hindi mo nakikita yung reaction ng lahat ng audience mo. Walang kokontra. Pivot, you move from one direction to the next and you pivot. Parang sa basketball, papunta ka dito, nag-pivot ka. Kaya tayo ngayon, kailangan natin mag-pivot. Okay? And this is Viktor Frankl, Man's Search for Meaning. And he said, those who have a why to live can bear it with almost any how. Viktor Frankl is the man who wrote that book, and that happened. He told the story of what happened to him when he was trapped along with millions of Jews in the Nazi concentration camps. They were tortured. Some of his family members, he saw them killed right in front of him, his friends. He lost his siblings, his parents, and his wife. What will you do if you are in that situation? Some opted to just end their life, but Viktor Frankl tend to change his perspective. He knows that they can torture him, they can beat him up, but what he cannot change is how he sees his own reality. Two prisoners locked in a dungeon, one saw the stars, while the other saw the bars. Same scenario, different perspective. Our meaning is very, very powerful. Now, here's another thing that will really change your life. This will really change your life. More than any training, more than any training or module that you will ever experience. This is it. This is just it. This is the answer to what you are looking for. Here's the difference between self-confidence and self-esteem. Self-confidence is about how good you are. Self-confidence is about your track record. It's about your ranking. Are you a diamond or kung ano yung position natin? Ano ba ang ating status? Yan ang self-confidence. Self-confidence comes from our competence. Competence means you work hard, you become more confident. I know a lot of you are watching The Last Dance right now. Okay? Mga kaedad ko dito. Well, dun sa mga millennials, you will find out why we consider Michael Jordan as the GOAT. But he's so confident. In fact, he's overly confident because he works very, very hard. Kobe Bryant, the late Kobe Bryant, rest his soul, is so confident because he shoots the ball 1,000 times a day. Kung hindi ka pa naging confident yan, ewan ko na lang yun. Ewan ko na lang. Yun yung confidence. Ang self-esteem, magkaibang self-esteem. Ang self-esteem is your value as a person. Your self-esteem doesn't change regardless of your status, regardless if you hit your quota, regardless kung naabot mo yung goals mo. Tandaan nyo to, kahit na anong goal ang abutin mo, a goal is a moving target. You won't be happy. If you earn your first million, okay, if you think that will make you happy, it won't, because you will look for the second million. You will look for the third million. You will look for the 10th million. Kung hindi ka happy now, kapag ikaw yumaman ka na, hindi ka pa rin magiging masaya. Ganoon lang kasimple yan. Yung self-esteem, yung value natin as a person, sino ka? One of the most difficult things that I do in my job is when I speak to very successful people, multimillionaires, and I've also spoken to a few billionaires. I've shared the stage with many leaders in the country. I just don't share it because I don't see the reason I have to. But to give you an idea, I also have shared the stage with the president of our country, okay? Past president, mga senators. Sabi ko, billionaire. You know what the difference between a billionaire and a millionaire? A billionaire is like watching the NBA. A millionaire is like the PBA. And I would sometimes go to their homes, may mga elevator. Grabe. Ano naman ang comparison ko sa kanila? These guys are hundreds of millions of times richer than me. If someone is in front of you and you're talking, you would really, maliliit ka. You will shrink if you don't know your value as a person. I respect them a lot. Nakita ko si Michael Jordan, mas starstruck ako. Okay lang naman yun, mas starstruck tayo. Kita natin, we respect them, we acknowledge their hard work. But remember this, your value and their value as a person, it's just the same. It's just the same. Nagsisipilyo din yan. Nag-almusal din yan. Pumupupo din yan. Same with you, same with me. Kaya pag ikaw, lalo ka pang naging successful, ganyan din dapat ang tingin mo sa tao. Yung value ng tao, kahit na mahirap yan, should never change. I love the book of Tony Meloto. His daughter gave me a book, ni Tito Tony. I met him in one event. He's the one who created Gawad. He founded Gawad Kalinga. Yung binasa ko yung book na yan, yung maganda, no? Pag mga ganito. I think I've already read around 15 books since the lockdown. And isa yun sa mga books na pinramis ko sa sarili ko na babasahin ko. 2016 pa hanggang ngayon, hindi ko pa binabasa. Ngayon ko lang natapos, 450 pages kasi. So inulit ko siya. Nagbago yung perspective ko, lalo na pagdating sa poor. It changed my perspective and it changed my heart. Parang sabi ko, parang kulang ako sa empathy. Hindi lang dapat empathetic, but you have to act on that empathy. So self-esteem, dito ka. Self-confidence, bumababa yan. Anong sagot? Work harder. Self-esteem, know your value as a person. Self-confidence is to trust oneself, an outward projection built on achievements, interpersonal. Self-esteem is to value oneself, an inward perspective built on personal worth, intrapersonal or intraperson. Pero may mas mataas pa dyan. I believe in, I respect all of my religions and this is my conviction. For me, myself, my conviction, the most important is Christ esteem. I know my value in God. It changes everything. That it gives me contentment. It gives me reassurance that I can do all things through Him who gives me strength. I am bold, but I'm also humble. I know that I cannot do things apart from God. A paradox of sorts. Second, are we learning? The second is how we can change our methods. How we can change our methods. So, passion. Share ko na sa inyo to, di ba? Ang passion. Passion is not about falling in love. It is about staying in love. Right? Kaya, yung methods natin, napaka-importante how we change that meaning. They connect passion with fireworks. That's the worst example of all. Pag fireworks yan, wow, I'm on fire! Boom! Tapos na. Hanggang fireworks na lang. Hindi dapat fireworks. Okay? Dapat naglalast yung ating fireworks, not just by spurts. So, you've seen people who have pivoted. This is not a meme. This is a hospital. And since nasa province sila, wala silang enough resources to get PPE suits. So, they improvised. Yan ang ginamit, mga supot. This is Patty Ang. And she changed her factory, her garments factory. She's a designer into a factory that creates PPE suits. Meron akong dalawang kaibigan. Yung isa, garments sila parehas. Yung isa, nagsara. They're waiting things out. Yung isa naman, nag-convert kagad. March pa lang, nag-convert na sila into PPE suits. So they're getting donations and they are giving this to hospitals. Pivoting, changing the way we do things. Yan. At ito, gandang marketing to. Malakas yan yung fair. Sige, yung iba sa inyo, alam ko mahina signal, no? Dahil online tayo. Antayin natin mga 10 seconds. Okay na ba yan? Baka 1 minute yung iba. Sige, makukuha nyo rin yan. Jollibee. For the first time in history, 30 years, meron sila sa supermarket. And I think this is gonna be a staple of their brand. Diba yung mga frozen na mga marinated chickens, McDonald's also followed suit. Yan. Serenity, nagkaroon na rin. Okay. Potato Corner. Meron na rin, pivot. You can buy this in the supermarket, and even after the pandemic, it's gonna be here. Yan. Si Elon Musk, if you know him, the man who created Tesla electric cars, he converted his factory into a factory that builds respirators, PPE suits, mga N95 masks. Kasi the world is changing. You know, one thing that I'm so happy, not pala changing, it has already changed and continuously changing. But we're not aware of the tools that we have right now. I'm so happy because today, naniniwala ko even after the pandemic, mukhang hindi na ako magkakaroon ng live meetings. Konti na lang yung live meetings sa face-to-face kami ng kliyente. So, imagine mo, wala na akong travel time. Tapos mag-meet na lang kami on Zoom. And people are making a lot right now. Zoom, the owner himself, his net worth has increased to around $2 billion. $2 billion during this pandemic. Wow. Amazon hired 100 plus thousand people because their business is booming. If they can do it and find a way, I believe we can too. But don't get me wrong, there are some businesses na mahirapan talaga. Let's say you're a restaurant, how can you pivot? Pwedeng delivery, but that's hard for others, for the bigger ones. Or kung airline ka, wala talagang way to pivot. I heard PAL is about to go bankrupt unless the government intervenes. Man, this coming May, bankrupt na daw sila. Yun din ang maganda sa vehicle nyo right now. Network marketing. Wherever you are, you can continuously do your business. And nasa ano pa tayo, health products. So continuous pa din yan. One of the things that changed me, changed my meaning, and changed my methods was years ago. I've been speaking for 20 years. 20 years. 8 years professionally. Mr. Joey saw me when I started speaking. Testimony ko na nakabili ako ng Revo, cash. Okay? May mga mas magagandang kotse, mga sports car. Pero yung pinili ko kasi practical ako na tao eh. And when he saw me sa, anong hotel yun sa Makati? Intercon Hotel. I was really bad. Not a good speaker. Dami kong mga kapalpakan sa speaking before. And until now, I still make mistakes. And then I went full-time 8 years ago because the demand was there already. Imagine mo after 10 years pa akong may nagbayad talaga sa akin na may PF. So yung nag-full-time na ako sa speaking, I was so excited. And then meron akong mga hinahangaan ng mga speakers that I want to share the stage with. Wow, these are the speakers, the people that I look up to. And lo and behold, there was one event na inorganize ng friend ko. And I told him, he asked me to help organize the event. I was able to get the venue for free. And behind the scenes, sabi niya sa akin, Jayson, I'll put you as one of the speakers. Meron silang 5 speaker. Some of them are the best in their industries. They're really good. Look up to them. Tapos, sabi ng friend ko, I'll include you. Sabi ko, wag na. Okay na ako na behind the scenes na lang ako. Kasi 5 na yung speakers. I think that's too many already kung sasama pa ako. So, okay lang. Tulo na lang ako sa back end. After one day, kita ko sa Facebook, nakapost na dun yung pangalan ko kasama ng mga speakers. Okay, I'm grateful and thankful. Dream come true, right? After 2 days, my friend called me. Sabi niya sa akin, Jayson, I'm really, really, really sorry. Ako nga, ayoko na rin mag-speak dito sa event. Pero nag-commit na ako. Sabi ko, bakit? Kasi some of the other speakers there told me na ayaw ka nila isama sa lineup. Kasi hindi ka nila kilala. In other words, parang nandito yung level nila. Nandito ako. Simula pa lang ako eh. Shock ako nun. Hindi ko alam na pati pala sa ganyan. Lahat naman may politika, no? Pero kaka-start ko pa lang, na politika na kagad ako. What happened? Lungkot ba ako? Of course. 2 weeks ako nung depressed. Tapos kausap ko yung pastor namin, sabi ng pastor namin, Jayson, maganda na nangyari yan. Kasi kung hindi nangyari yan, nangyari yan dahil when you become like them, you will know what you should not become. And it stuck in my mind. I changed my meaning. I told myself, babaguhin ko na yung perspective ko. ang gagawin ko, I will do my best and level up, work very hard. And after that, if I reach personal milestones, I gain credibility, I will train speakers. God's grace, I was able to surpass even my milestones and my targets. In 2016, since 2008, nagtitrain na ako ng mga speakers. Pero yung time na yon, hindi pa siya formal. Kasi may experience lang ako in two industries eh. That was network marketing and the church. Pero etong 2016 na experience ko na almost lahat ng mga industries. Pati yung mga gumagawa ng mga bomba. Okay, yung explosives for the military. Imagine mo yung mga ganong klaseng industries. And when I taught them, nagbago yung aking dream. Sabi ko, I want to train speakers na even yung mga tao na walang experience in speaking, that I want to show these people that if they can do it, these people can do it also. And I was really surprised with the outcome. There were some in the group, walang experience in speaking. It became their livelihood, had their companies. Yung iba naman, nasa mga direct selling, nagamit nila. It made them such a better speaker in their industries. There was even one guy, so funny. He's only 24 years old. And he told me, Kuya Jayson, meron akong talk. First time to. Sabi ko, ano yun? Na-close ko siya. 6 digits, one talk. Sabi ko, anong topic? Unique! Usap kami. Kasi na-certify ko siya. Konti na yung mga sinertify ko na speakers for Unique. And, it's possible for some of you, if you have dreams and those dreams had rough roads, blocks in front of you, it's time for you to change your meaning. It's time for you to change your direction. It's time for you to pivot, and it's time for you to change your why. That your why is not about you. Your why is about others. Last is change your models. Change your models. I don't know if I'm gonna step on people's toes right now, but comparison between two people, two famous speakers, Dave Ramsey and Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone, Mr. 10X. Dave Ramsey, no debt. Okay, this is what you have to do. Yeah. Right now, Grant Cardone's company is delikado sila, in other words. Dahil nag-overextend sila, nag-over-leverage. And he tells people na ito dapat yung gawin mo. If he sees videos, man, susunugin yung pera sa harap mo, yan. If you put your money in the bank, nakita isang video niya eh. If you put your money in the bank, sinunog niya. Yan ang ginagawa mo kasi sila yung nakikinabang dyan. Tapos magpo-post sila dun sa mga magagandang kotse, eroplano sa likod. And si Dave Ramsey, sobrang simple lang. Nasabi niya, okay, cut your credit cards. This is what you have to do. And then, yung nagkaroon ng pandemic, ang dami niyang bashers nun, si Dave Ramsey. Daming bashers. Ba't po kanyang tunuruan ng ganyan? Diba? Napaka-conservative. That will not work. That is for a baby boomer. Now, he's just sipping tea. And nag-increase yung kanyang followers ng hundreds of thousands. He just reached his billionth view on YouTube. Kasi nakita nila yung sinasabi niya can stand the test of time. And others are just for fluff. So, yung ating mga models, importante. I've shared this before with you. Growth mindset and fixed mindset. Ang fixed mindset, pinanganak ako na mahirap, mamatay ako na mahirap, di ba? Hindi na ako matututo, eto na lang ako. Yan ang sinasabi ko dun sa mga older generation. You have to learn. You have to learn social media. You have to learn the e-commerce part of your business. Because if your business is not in the internet, then it will be obsolete. Growth mindset, lahat ng bagay pwede natin matutunan. We can learn anything. Take note, I said anything, not everything. Not everything. So you choose what you should learn. In this season, there are many courses, there are many trainings. You just choose kung ano yung bagay na tututunan mo. Hindi kailangan ng marami. Meron lang kailangan ng mga foundational. 2 or 3, and then enhance yourself, develop yourself. Okay? Alamin mo kung ano yung mga bagay na yon. So, with the growth mindset and fixed mindset, pivot. This is Lou Alcindor. I can't remember if I share this with you. Yung mga mahilig sa basketball, yung mga generation ni Mr. Paul. Si Lou Alcindor changed his name into Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Did you know that when he was in college, the dunk shot was outlawed? Pinagbawalan yung dunk because he was so dominant, wala makapigil sa kanya. So anong ginawa niya? He created the most unstoppable, unguardable move, the most devastating move in basketball's history. The skyhook. They won 3 championships because of that. After he left, binalik ulit yung dunk shot, ginamit naman niya sa NBA. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar today holds the record most points total in the NBA. Is one of the best players who ever played the game. Okay? Yung pivot natin. This is his coach, John Wooden, who also has a growth mindset. Growth mindset, okay ang mag-fail. Fixed mindset, hindi okay ang mag-fail. Fixed mindset, stay the same. Because ganyan na lang talino natin. Growth mindset is nag-grow tayo. Kailangan natututo tayo. Kaya ako, I continuously read books. I have watched videos in this season. And dami ko na rin mga videos na pinanood. Pinipili ko lang kung saang part. Ang inaaral ko ngayon is copywriting. Because I believe that that's one of the most important skills right now. But you see, when you start pivoting, you should turn failure into a friend, and you should turn fear into a companion. Because if you're not afraid where you are today, it means that you should move to another room. Ang fear kasi may tinatawag na healthy fear. It means that you're so comfortable right now. Ang healthy fear, ibig sabihin, alam mo na kailangan, you should continuously work. Alam mo kailangan, you should continuously grow to build yourself. Because there is someone out there who is working harder than you. And that person one day would even surpass you. So with that thought in your mind, you are faithful, but also, I'm not saying fearful, but you use that. Kasi kailangan we should be comfortable with discomfort. And now I'm doing things that I'm not really comfortable. Sometimes I'm afraid to do them. But once you do them, the fear dissipates. Because if you do them, then you know and understand now that, yes, it is possible. Yes, it is possible. Ladies and gentlemen, you just have to show up. Show up. Right now, it's difficult. The answer is showing up. Don't think too much. Ask yourself, what is my mission today? Show up, because if you show up, God will show off through you. If you show up, God will show off. Just show up. Just show up. Models. Na-share ko pa to sa inyo before. Hindi yata, no? Nag-start ako mag-video last year. Kaya medyo nakapag-pivot ako ngayon. Kasi 2 years ago, I started pivoting already. I hate posting videos, yung mga nagvi-video ko, tapos po-post. Pagod na pagod ako, nasistress ako. That's not just my personality. Tamad ako mag-post sa Facebook. I mean, I don't like posting on Facebook, showing my pictures. Just not me. But my staff before convinced me to do this. And one of my friends, he spoke also in your event, si Carlo Ople, convinced me also years ago. And I started with videos. This was 2018. Kita niyo yung views namin, no? 243 views. 100 million ang Pilipino. Ang nanood, 243. Hindi pa kasama dyan yung asawa ko. Diba? Nakaka-frustrate. Popost ka ng video, manonood 10. Diba? Naka-Facebook live ka, nanonood 2. Pero lahat naman dumaan dyan eh. And then I just continued to post and post and post kahit wala masyadong mga nanonood, walang traction. Biglang one day, yung isa nag-5,000, yung isa nag-10,000, nag-15,000, nag-100,000. And this is now one of my most viewed to date. Now it's not 6.5 million, it's 8.3 million. And I have 4 other videos that exceeded the millionth mark. Kasi nakita ko na pagdating sa change, and take note, I said, I don't like this. Ang problem ko before, but this was also positive, 90% of my clients are my mga warm clients ko, those mga ni-recommend or repeat clients. In other words, yung mga clients ko got me, and then ginawa nila, ni-refer ako, and then or they got me again. Isa sa mga pinakamaraming kong talk sa isang company, last week I got them. Yan ang maganda pag may mga loyal clients ka. And they paid me for that talk. Tapos itong client ko na to, that was my 14th talk with them. 14th talk. 1-4 Same audience. Tapos nag-text na naman kanina, Jayson, this June, anong schedule mo? Sinishare ko yung perspective ng mga companies. Sabi ko, you get clients every week, iba-iba. Ibang hirap niyan. Hindi ka talaga natuto masyado kasi they only shared a little bit. But if you go deeper with the speaker, with the consultant, and build the relationship so that that speaker and consultant also knows where you are, then you will go to another level also, both together. And they are one of my dearest clients today. Again, when you change the meaning, you change the models, you change the methods, you can get a different kind of results that you have never seen before. I posted this naman last week. Interesting, nag-guest ako sa isang podcast ng friend namin. Joey also knows him. Sabi niya sa akin, Jace, I have a confession to make. Ay ko na yun. Alam mo ba, 10 years ago, yung invite ka namin sa company namin, yung wife ko tumawa, natawa siya. At hindi to yung haha laughter. Tumawa siya ng sarcastic laugh. Yung laugh na condescending. Sabi niya, Jayson, ba't si Jayson ang kukunin natin? I can't blame them. They're my good friends because they saw me when I was starting in speaking. Kita nila kung paano ako nagsimula. Yung wife niya, mga years na ako hindi nakikita. So yung nag-speak ako sa kanila, I'm happy that the feedback was really good. And this was 10 years ago. Kinuwento niya sa akin, hindi ko alam yung nangyari na yun, na natawa yung wife niya. I had no clue. Buti na lang, hindi ko alam. Kasi pag nalaman ko yung before, baka lalo akong na-pressure. And ginawa ko, nag-post ako. Yan, sabi, Jayson Lo, ha? Seryoso ka ba? Bakit siya yung kukunin mo na speaker? I told you I'm studying copywriting right now. And pag-post ko na to, I also introduced a program that I've never introduced mainstream before. And it was the first time. And if you see the comments, I have 814 comments there. Sabi ko sa kanila, you comment if you want us to send the details. And on the first day of my post, there were more than 500 comments. I had 500 inquiries from that. Okay? So I want to share that with you in a while. So moving from a job to a career into a calling. Remember, this is a calling. A calling never tires. A calling is not part-time, full-time. It is a lifetime mindset. A calling is about other people. You have a calling right now. The world needs you. The world needs your voice. People around you needs you. You are called. And your calling should be bigger than yourself. Your why should be about others. Because if it's about others, you will never run out of clients. You will never run out of customers. Because when you talk to them, it's all about serving others. It's all about serving others. Finally, I also asked Sir Joey, if I can share a program that I will be having online next week. It is going to be my first public online event, Time to Pivot. And I'm happy to share this with you guys. Right now, it's difficult to talk about breakthrough. No one this year. Ang init, no? May aircon na, mainit pa rin. No one this year will reach their quota. Except if you're Amazon. Okay? 99% of companies or 95% of companies this year will not reach their targets for 2020, will not reach their goals. Okay? How do we have a breakthrough for 2020? You have to remember this. Your breakthrough is coming. You know why? Because breakthrough comes from breaking. There is no breakthrough without breaking. A seed, when you plant it into the ground, it starts to break into a plant. It starts to break into a tree, and that tree will eventually bear fruits or much fruits or many fruits. Yung breaking natin ngayon, after this ECQ, tutuloy-tuloy pa yan. After this pandemic, may post-pandemic pa. What did you bring out? What did you bring with you in this pandemic? Did it make you a better person? Did it make you a stronger person? Did it make you a wiser person? So your breaking right now is an answered prayer, because that breaking will create so much breakthroughs for you and for me that this new normal, we will see this as the past normal. And this new normal will actually lead to amazing breakthroughs. For those of you who are interested, I will be sharing this program I call No Dull Moments. Speak and sell your way to a 6-figure income. I'm not promising that after this you will earn a 6-figure income. What I'm sharing is I will provide a framework for you to use in your network, how you can present effectively, how can you use a framework I call the 7 A's of speaking. Etong talk ko sa inyo ngayon, kaya kong explain sa inyo kung paano ko siya ginawa, step by step. Tapos kung nag-speak kayo right now, I can also share step by step yung mga ginagawa natin, even those speakers, kasi marami sa mga speakers na magagaling is it's all tacit knowledge. Tacit knowledge means TACIT, they know it, but they don't know how to teach it. Pansinin niyo yan, yung mga magagaling na speakers, pag tinanong niyo, paano mo ginagawa? Kasi yan, basta, ano pag kinakabahan ka, anong gagawin mo? You need to let the butterflies in your stomach fly information. Ano kaya ibig sabihin nun, di ba? So, we will break it down into the bits and parcels so that you can replicate it. It's good for novices, but experts or veterans alike will learn a lot. Because I've trained speakers that, yung iba mga magagaling na, some of them are now international speakers. Sabi sa akin ng isang speaker na international speaker, he's a Filipino. Jayson, I've been speaking for quite some time now. But after your talk, naintindihan ko na kung ba't ko ginagawa yung mga ginagawa ko. Kasi dati para akong bata baby na binato sa tubig. Tapos after that, natuto na lang lumangoy. Lalo na sa networking, di ba? Dami dyan, yung lilipad yung talk, shoo! Tapos lilipad ulit. Tapos magla-landing na. Pag landing ng ganyan, lilipad na naman. Landing na naman, lilipad na naman. No direction. So those nuances makes a huge difference between having a good talk, a great talk, and a talk that is actually no dull moment. You can actually create a no dull moment talk. I'll share the principles behind that. And the different kinds of speakers. There are different kinds of speakers. There are speakers who are teachers. Tuturo. Diba? Meron mga teachers na, may mga speakers na motivators, motivational. Motivate. Kaya lang minsan, hirap, no? Motivational pero walang content. Or minsan naman, punong-puno ng content, hindi ka naman motivate. Tapos meron din yung tinatawag natin na closers. Those people who can sell on stage. They can close. So, I will teach how you can integrate those 3 types of speakers in the different disciplines of speaking. So, this is the program. Okay? I'll share the 7A speaking model. And the language of success. Remember, I said it's all about others and how can you put yourself in other people's shoes. And ethical persuasion. If you know me, I'm not the hard sell type, but you can actually sell to people without making them feel that you are selling or without making them feel that you are sponsoring them. Kasi yung mga tao naman gustong bumili Gustong bumili ng mga tao. Ayaw lang nila ng binebentahan sila. Okay? And the biggest mistakes of speakers, I'll share with you the biggest mistakes and the unique speaking styles. You know, unique already, the 4 personality types, and how can you use each type in your talk. If you notice, there are times na nagiging dominant ako, influential, steady, and corrective. How do you use that to customize it to your audience and create your message that you can use anytime? This talk that I'm doing right now, I can do this in 5 minutes. Since 1 hour ang binigay sa akin, okay? Ayun, mag-1 hour na tayo. I can do this in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour. I can also do this in 1 day. There's a principle behind that. And finally, to create a no dull moment experience. I've never shared this in a talk for a massive group kasi this is for top performers and also companies request me. This is a specialized course, in other words. But this is the first time I'll be sharing this for this amount, only 750 pesos. This May 12, Tuesday, 7:30. If a company gets me, this is probably, tayo-tayo lang naman kasi hindi naman kayo iba sa akin. Hindi ko siya pinost online, but if a company gets me, it's on 95% off. And you get to have me there in your living room if you want to see me there in your living room. So all you have to do is register jasonla.com/NDM. That's no dull moment. And I'll be more than happy to have you there. This morning, when I woke up, there were like 30 people who registered again. Tapos dire-diretso lang siya, no? You can use this for presentations, public speaking, for sales pitches, Zoom meetings. Mas mahirap ang Zoom, but you can make a Zoom presentation engaging as well. There are ways to do that. And of course, how you can speak and communicate effectively. Because the most important skill today, I believe, is to learn the ability to sell. Because in anything that we do right now, it's all about selling and selling ourselves. So with that, I'd like to thank everyone. As I've mentioned, there is no breakthrough without breaking, and this breaking will lead to great breakthroughs ahead for you. Tsaka, ito yung last ko pala. Tandaan nyo lang, God is always there with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. He will be with you wherever you go. Change your perspective. God will not let this pandemic overcome you or ruin you. God will actually reveal himself to you that he is good, he is faithful, and he loves you like a child. Kaya sa Bible, di ba, ang tawag sa atin, child of God, children of God. Hindi na tayo tinawag na adults of God. Ang children, kahit ano nangyayari, alam nila yung parents nila will be there, will provide. They have a child's heart. And God wants that right now from you to just believe, because he will provide abundantly to his children. Thank you so much. God bless everyone.
Thank you very much, Jayson. Wow. Another exciting evening, bro. Later on, we'll just have a few questions and answer dito. Pero siguro I just like to echo what Jayson advertised a while ago. I encourage all our partners to attend yung training ni Jayson. Jayson, if you can send us later on yung poster so we can post it in our official mga Facebook sites. And I encourage everyone to attend this training. This is a one-of-a-kind training coming from the man himself, Jayson Lo. Jayson Lo has been a partner before in a network marketing business. And if you know my story, Jayson is always part of that story. Diba? The reason why I joined, that's my story behind network marketing. The reason why I joined my very first network marketing companies because I've heard the story of Jayson Lo. Siya yung nag-inspire sa akin. Tama si Jayson eh. I never listened to that presentation. Ang medyo nag-strike sa akin is he bought a Toyota Revo cash. That was a week ago nung time na yun. And I was so surprised. So whenever I see Jayson nung time na yun, talagang in-interview ko siya, how did you make it? Ganyan. Pero yun, I've seen from that day on, from that day, until nung magkasama na kami sa negosyo, there's a lot of changes kay Jayson eh. And one thing na na-appreciate ko kay Jayson is yung ability niya to yung for self-development. And maybe, siguro Jayson, that's my first question to you right now. Okay? During this, although you mentioned it a while ago, pero gusto kong madinig ulit nila, di ba? During this new normal situation, what's your current habit when it comes to self-development? Yung day-to-day ni Jayson Lo when it comes to self-development?
Yung importante na we categorize it. So there's always the physical. Joey, you know that's physical because marami sa Sante, you run, you compete. So physical is important. When I started with quarantine, yung isang bagay na hindi ako consistent, physical. So I started with 5 push-ups. naging 10, naging 15. So now I'm averaging 105 push-ups a day, 200 crunches. Okay? Hindi siya dati 100 push-ups every 6 months eh. Hindi siya nagsimula ng 100 push-ups in one day. Kasi kailangan unti-unti lang tayo. We should underwhelm ourselves until maging habit siya. Iba ang habit, sabi nila 21 days. That's not true. Ang habit, nasa 66 days siya according to research. So mas matagal. Kaya hindi natin nagiging habit kasi naka-focus kagad tayo to achieve a lot. So we end up burning out and nagda-drop out tayo dun sa ating mga goals. So physically, that's one. And yung pangalawa is financially. Okay? Alam mo, ang ganda na itong pandemic. Natuto tayo lahat magtipid. First time kong kumain ng bahay, 2 months, home-cooked food. Tapos nakita natin yung mga hindi essentials. Niloloko ng mga kaibigan ko kasi may ligaw ako sa sapatos. So, yan. Wala akong masuot na sapatos ngayon. Hindi nga ako nakasapatos ngayon eh. Di ba? So, after this, every time nagagasta tayo, nakita natin yung value ng pera. Nakita natin yung value ng talk. Ako honestly, minsan yung mga talks ko, nakakalimutan ko ng magpasalamat kay God. Kasi, alam mo yun, pagpagod ka dire-diretso, tapos lilipad ka ng umaga, minsan flight ko 4 a.m., paglipad ko ng ganyan, hindi ko na natatandaan yung mga times na thankful ako, nakatingin ako sa langit. Parang, Lord, grabe, ang daming pwedeng kuning speaker. Ba't ako yung kinuwang speaker? Pinalipad pa ako dun. Diba? So, I learned how to go back to that. Be grateful and thankful financially. And yung career din natin. Ako, honestly, yan ang unang tinamaan sa akin, career. Imagine mo, I do live events. Biglang ganun yung nangyari. So, immediately, you have to learn how to, again, pivot. Okay? No matter what it takes, because this pandemic should not stop you from doing your why. My why in life is to bring out the uniqueness in people and to inspire them that they can be the best that they can be. So, ba't ako titigil dahil lang may ganitong pandemic? So, meron din kayong mga why na dapat tuloy-tuloy lang tayo. Huwag kayong ma-overwhelm. Take it one day at a time. Take it one day at a time. So, and ito yung pinaka-importante sa lahat. Okay? Relationships, of course, check nyo din. Check nyo din yung mga relationships nyo. Ang pinaka-importante sa lahat yung spiritual. Kasi pag ang spiritual hindi okay, lahat yan maapektuhan. Pero kung ang spiritual okay, yan, kahit na yung iba tamaan, intact ka pa rin. Siguro yun ang nangyari sa amin kasi yung spiritual is okay. Kaya I know that we will bounce back. Hindi kami masyadong naapektuhan. So, yun yung mga bagay na you can start doing. So, you look at those areas from spiritual to your career, financial, relationships, and the physical.
Thank you, Jayson. Before I pass on the microphone to Ian or Paul for some other questions coming from our business owners. Bro, you mentioned something kanina na medyo nainggit ako. Kaya tatanong ko. You might have a technique for this and just to share also to our viewers right now. You mentioned a while ago that during this ECQ, you've already read 15 books, bro. Nainggit bigla ako ron. Parang sabi ko, grabe parang sobrang layo nun sa mga nabasa ko ngayon eh. Pero question on Jayson, just for because in Sante we're also encouraging our distributors or what we call as business owners to continuously enhance their yung skill level by number one, attending trainings and of course reading books. Is there a technique that you do for you to read 15 books in 2 months or may technique ba yan or it's just a habit or paano ba, Jay? Just give us by the way, for all of you who are watching right now, that's one of the things na na-appreciate ko kay Jayson since yung time na magkakasama kami. He's really a wide reader. Okay? Alam ko, ito sabihin ko na, tichismis ko na, nung nag-aaral si Jayson, hindi magaling magbasa yan. Tamad magbasa yan. Pero when we were doing business together, I appreciate him every time nakikita ko siya, iba yung hawak ng libro. And doon nahasa yun eh. Pero I was surprised a while ago, he read 15 books. Jayson, may technique ba? Is there any technique or habit? Paano ba yan?
Ako din nainggit ako dun sa mga nasa likod mo.
Punta ka minsan dito, alam ko kung hilig mo rin yan eh.
Well, pagdating sa books, walang sikreto. Mag-aral ka lang ng speed reading. Narinig ko kasi si Warren Buffett eh. Si Warren Buffett daw reads 500 pages a day. Di ba? Imposible yun. So sabi ko, kung kaya niyang gawin yan, maybe there's a way. So I took up speed reading classes. There was one time, wala akong magawa. Tinry ko lang. Nag-try ako magbasa ng isang libro every day. Natapos ako, 12 days, nakabasa ako ng 12 books. Hindi na ulit yon. Pero tinry ko lang yung limits ko. Okay? So, that's one, speed reading. But siguro ang maganda din, yung mindset na, ako, I don't like to study. I hate studying. That's why I don't like school before. But I want to learn. Magkaibang studying sa learning. Diba? Pag nag-study ka ng math, paano ko ba magagamit to? But if you teach your children that math can actually help you in decision making, diba? And this and that, then alam na nila that they should learn it because it will lead to other skills. Kaya perspective lang din. Growth mindset pa din at the end of the day. Growth mindset. You know that book, Growth Mindset? I've read that more than 10 times. More than 10 times. Pero ang ginagawa ko kasi, tip ko sa inyo, when I read the book, naka-notes, ginuguhitan ko siya. Tapos lahat yung mga books na yan, may book notes ako. Yung book notes na yan, papa-type ko sa staff ko. Tapos pag naka-book notes na, it's mine forever. Kaya yung yung mindset, binasa ko yan 10 times kasi binasa ko lang yung notes ko eh. Yun yung mga pinaka-importante eh. So nabasa ko ulit siya in just 1 hour. So that's one tip that I can share with you guys.
Thank you, Jayson. So for our partners watching right now, it's important talaga during these times and we're staying at home. So find time, find an avenue. Ang daming mga gandang materials available in the internet. You have to be choosy, of course. You cannot just pick up a material and read it. Pero there's a lot of opportunity right now to really learn. Okay. So I would just like to pass the microphone to Paul or Ian if there are questions na hawak nyo, at least for Jayson. Or at least
Jayson.
we can give mga 5-6 questions to Jayson before we finally close this event.
Sige. Actually, Joey, Jayson, I have a question for you. No?
Good.
By the way, no, ang ganda ng talk. No? I really appreciated it. No? Lalo na yung kay Jabbar. Binanggit mo. Alright. Anyway, ganito. No? Kasi for the longest time, di ba, ang tinuturo sa atin is be consistent, di ba? And naalala ko rin yung kasabihan niya, yung tutukain ka na ng ahas, nasa harapan mo, hindi pa rin nakikita. No? My question is, what will be your trigger or what will be the triggers, no, for everybody's benefit when you should make a pivot or not? Yung tipong kailan ka ba magiging consistent o kailan ka dapat mag-pivot? That's my question. What are the triggers?
Yeah. Kung paano tayo mag-pivot?
What will mess or what are the signals that hey, tutukain ka na, magbago ka na, 'di ba? Or mag-pivot ka na, 'di ba? Kasi like there are people in this situation today, 'di ba? Na nandiyan na yung ECQ, hindi pa rin nag-a-adjust eh. Maybe hindi sila aware that hey, you need to adjust already. So maybe I don't know if there are any triggers or indications that, to help us, 'di ba, identify na dapat you should be reinventing yourself already. No? So that's my question now.
Sa akin, mabilis eh. Kasi kita ko eh, na lahat ng mga live events canceled. So you will find out immediately if you need to pivot. Kasi ang income, for me, income is just it's a measurement for me. It's not the end goal, but it's how I see if I'm moving forward. Diba? Kung yan apektado, immediately, you know that you have to pivot. Right? So the signal is quite clear. Ang danger lang dun sa mga iba na still doing well right now and feeling nila okay pa din sila, kampante pa rin sila. Kaya mangyayari dyan, they might be overtaken by others if they do not change again with the changing times. So things like personally, yung ating mental health, is it affected? Our mental toughness, is it affected? Is it affecting our relationships? Okay? But the first signal really is your income and how you can help others along the way. Kasi it affects how you can help others eh, yung capability natin. Kasi ngayon, honestly, doon ako medyo na overwhelmed. Hindi sa amin eh. Yung mga tao na kailangang tulungan. Even the churches, naririnig mo na ito yung mga nangyayari. Our family, yung mga hindi prepared. I'm really blessed that we're prepared. I'm really blessed that we're prepared. Bago nangyari yung lockdown tinuturuan ko yung anak ko. Sabi ko, Gabi, it's very important when you start working, you have to focus on stability as well. I'll give an example. For example, daddy doesn't work for more than a year. We're still okay. We're not going to be affected. Not knowing na magla-lockdown after 1 or 2 weeks, tinuturuan ko siya ng ganon. So, okay kami Kaya lang, you always need to earn more because there are so many people you can help. Di ba? Yun lang yun sa akin. Kaya yung motivation ko, iba din. Again, changing the meaning. I hope that made sense. Hindi ko siya masagot totally kasi iba-iba yung sitwasyon natin
Yes.
I'll give you an example. Pag negosyante ka, honestly, there are some businesses right now that cannot pivot and it's better for them to close down. That's a reality. Diba? So, may mga ganun Pero may mga iba naman na they have to wait it out. Meron naman iba na can find ways to pivot. So, you just have to expect the best but also have a firm grasp of reality. Have a firm grasp of reality.
Yeah. Thank you, Jayson. Yeah. Ian, may questions from our business owners?
Yes, sir. Hi, Jayson. Ian here from Sante
Hey, Ian.
Engage. We have a question here from one of our leaders. Her name is Apple Chico. So I'll read it. When this ECQ was announced by the government, how swift were you in your decision-making process to accept the new normal and reinvent yourself to adapt to change? How were you able to do it?
Ako kasi I'm not an early adopter. It means that I wait it out. So, ibig sabihin, inintay ko muna what worked for others. That's me. Meron kasing kasabihan, di ba? The law first. If you're first, you're the one who's gonna be successful. But that's not true. It's a myth. The people who are first, the companies that are first, usually do not succeed. It's usually those that followed because they learned from the first and they tweaked their products. Google wasn't the first. Apple wasn't the first. Okay? So strategically, that's what I did. So chinek ko muna. Syempre, I speak and I have to check kung ano yung price tolerance ng mga tao ngayon. Saan ako po pwedeng pumosisyon? How can I use my my brand and my credibility? Kasi maraming mga speakers ngayon talagang walang trabaho. Even those who are really some are quite known speakers. It's very difficult right now. Kaya paano tayo pipivot? So pangalawa naman is build alliances. When you say build alliances, people that you can trust, who has your back and you have their back as well. People of the same values. Ian, I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, you did. Thank you. By the way, I'd like to thank you guys, the speakers. I mean, you guys are doing a great job in motivating a lot of people, especially now. Thank you guys, you in the speakership industry. Can I give you another one? Yeah. This is
ito pala
from...
isang next question mo, ang payment, kukuha ko ng isang statue ni Joey. Go ahead.
Punta ka lang dito, maraming nakabang.
Okay din.
Deadline, kailangan ngayong araw.
Si Thanos nandito sa kaliwa. Si Thanos.
Yung bagong buo daw, yung Iron Man Hulk na anyway, this is for what can you advise, Jayson? There are a lot of Filipinos medyo below the poverty line and obviously they need to pivot and reinvent themselves. Can you give us them some practical tips on how they can start up and trigger themselves to move and elevate themselves?
Yung mga below poverty line?
Yeah, especially those kasi challenge sila will be maybe internet connection, because right now it's the internet, it's online. So can we advise them what little steps can they take to alleviate their situation?
So meron tayong mga partners din na yun ang sitwasyon right now. Ito yung importante eh. Kasi kaya nga sila nasa poverty line eh. Dahil hindi nila alam kung ano yung gagawin. So kung sila lang, mahirapan sila. Kailangan natin ng leadership. Sabi ko yan sa corporate, may mga friends ako nagtatanong eh. May mga talk sila, may message, Jayson, ano ba yung kailangan ngayon? Oh, sige, ito sabihin mo. Una, constant communication. You need to have constant communication with your people. Message them. Yung nagkaroon kami ng scare, na yung loved one namin was positive, a lot of people were calling us every day. My wife was crying 3 times a day during that season. 1 week yun, hindi ko pa nakikita yung asawa kong umiyak na gano'n. 17 years na kami mag-asawa. 3 times a day umiiyak. Hindi namin nakita yung mga kids namin for 2 weeks kasi naka-quarantine kami. Tapos yung mga kapitbahay namin, when they found out, yung stigma is real. Natakot silang lumapit sa bahay namin. Wala nang pumapasok dun sa townhouse namin dahil nabalitaan ng barangay. Diba? Kahit naman sino ka eh, maapektuhan ka. And there were people calling us. Our pastor called us, my close friends were calling us. Hindi rin namin pinaalam kung ano yung nangyayari. Ang nakakaalam lang, a selected few. So, you assign people who will talk to this group, okay? If you're the leader. Tapos pangalawa naman, people are not looking for titles. People are looking for courage. And if you have courage, courageous leadership, then you will influence people and you will give them inspiration and hope.
Yeah, thank you. It's leadership really, no? And maybe for the people who needs help, they should reach out also for their leaders. No? Reach out for them to be helped also. Thank you, Jayson.
Welcome.
Paul, any more questions on your end?
I'm okay. Lahat nasabi ni Jayson. It was very, very educational.
Yeah, Jayson, this was of course, very informative event from one of the best speakers in the Philippines and soon, bro, in Asia. Diba? Bro, pag one of the best in Asia na, huwag may kakalimutan na. And of course, Jayson is always there whenever we reach out to him for speaking engagement. Of course, this will not be the last. We'll be having several events also with Jayson in the coming months. Kung hindi pa pwedeng face-to-face, maybe via Zoom call also. So again, Jayson, bro, if later on, if you can give us a poster that you have, because this will be already on the 12th, this coming May 12th, that's a Tuesday. So we don't have, I think, a main event on Tuesday. So I encourage everyone to attend the event of Jayson Law. This will be a very powerful evening. I myself will also attend this event. So Santi partners, let's attend the event and let's learn together. And maybe what we can do is this. Ito yung naisip ko, na hindi pa natin nagagawa, Paul. Okay? Maybe right after the event of Jayson, this coming May 12, let's create our own Zoom call and maybe i-brainstorm natin what we've learned from the event of Jayson, di ba? So let's brainstorm it, pag-usapan natin, and then i-decipher natin kasi I believe every member, every leader of Santi will have their own learnings para ma-share sa lahat. So that's what we'll do. And maybe we can do that in the coming days also, okay? And we'll siguro gawin na rin natin yung kasi last week, Jayson, we've also invited si Art Jonah, the founder of Mastermind Event. He suggested also, maganda suggestion niya for us to have a book club. So let's implement that already in the company, okay? We'll give some book suggestions and then we'll brainstorm, we'll have a Zoom call with them maybe every week for those who are members of that book club, and we'll discuss a chapter of the book. So let's find time, especially during this season, to at least have some intentional learning activities, of course, with our business owners, okay? So anyway, with that, Jayson, bro, thank you very much for your time, for your valuable time. Alam mo, napaka-busy ni Jayson ngayon because of several invitation for Zoom calls also, pero at least pinagbigyan niya tayo ngayon. Jay, thank you very much. Huwag kang magsasawa. Next time.
Always a pleasure. Very welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
After the COVID, I'll be inviting you sa bahay. Pumili ka na lang dito anong gusto mong kunin, di ba? Mahilig ka sa pangko. Marami akong pangko dyan sa labas. Wow. so kay Karen pala yun. Pinamigay no? Jayson, thank you very much for your time. And for all our Sunday business owners who are watching right now, thank you very much also. This is an exciting evening, and I would like to promote, of course, first is the event of Jayson. It's coming May 12. Later on, we'll be posting it in our Facebook messenger groups with your leaders, and we'll be forwarding it to everybody. So please feel free to register as soon as possible. Huwag natin hintayin yung last minute. It's only 750 pesos and only 750 listening to Jayson Law. That's really nothing. Bariyang-bariya lang yun if you'll be given an opportunity to listen to ako, one word that I can describe, a phrase that I can describe Jayson Law. He is a true meaning of a self-made millionaire. Alright? Yung mga tinuturo ni Jayson yun, hindi niya lang nabasa libro yan. Lahat yan, karamihan na experience. And it's really nice to learn from people who became successful because of their hard work, blood, sweat, and tears. So Jayson Law is a perfect example of that. So let's all learn together this coming May 12th. And another announcement, this coming next Saturday, 7 p.m., we'll be having another Zoom call with another special guest, Mr. Wes Linden, one of our colleagues from the Mastermind event. He's the top distributor of his company in Europe, in the UK, and we'll be having some question and answer portion with him next Saturday, 7 p.m. via Zoom also. All right. So again, Jayson, thank you very much. Paul, any last word before we say goodbye to our business owners?
Yeah, thank you, Jayson. Bro, it's really nice seeing you again and hearing from you. Every time I hear from you, ang dami ko napipick up at natututunan talaga. And I'm pretty sure lahat ng business owners feel the same way. Thank you, bro. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Always a pleasure to see you guys.
Yeah, thank you. Joey?
All right, thank you very much, Sunday business owners. Again, this is your CEO, Joey Marcelo. And as the saying goes, crisis or no crisis, the grass is greener with Sante Barley. Thank you very much. God bless you all. See you all in our next Zoom call. Bye-bye.